Hey, I'm Chey, and as if I didn't have enough books already, I got more. And by I got more, I mean a lot more. I have not yet counted up how much exactly it is, and honestly, I'm afraid to. I will at the end of this, but it was my birthday recently. June 11th was my birthday, in case anyone's curious. No one's curious. Most of what I asked for my birthday were books. So before you come in here with the whole thing about consumerism and I would tell you it's my money, mind your business, I mean, still, but it was my birthday. I got these as gifts, and also I had money that I saved up that I spent on myself on my birthday and bought some books for myself during birthday shopping, and I was kind enough not to just receive gifts from my parents and family members and stuff like that. I also had friends who were kind enough to send me gifts from my wish list. We'll go over all that. Disclaimer out of the way. We're done. This is gonna take a while, and I don't know how long my phone battery is going to last. Probably longer than my own will to live, but we're gonna get started. There's no particular order. I'll show you what it looks like on my floor right now, but I need to get these boxes out of here, even though they are a very efficient security measure at night. So I might pile them back in boxes, because you see those? Those are my TBR shelves, and I can guarantee you right now, all these are not gonna fit on those shelves. I'd say we have, you know, just a little bit, a little bit of quite the haul, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I would say so myself. If you didn't believe me then, do you believe me now? Also, this is not part of the book haul, but I got a watch for my birthday, and I'm very excited about it, because I kept getting them advertised to me on Instagram. They're freestyle watches, and I love it. I love this thing. I love it. To save us some time and sanity, I'm not going to be going over every synopsis of every single book in this haul, mainly for time's sake, but also because I don't know all the synopses of all of them. I know a general premise, but not all the synopses. So let's just get started, shall we? Where do I start? Let's start with this little pile right here. Okay. Shadow of the Gods. I know one of my friends at Stilby is very happy about this one. As soon as I heard about this, I knew I was probably going to be very interested in it. My chair is way too close over here for my own comfort. I was lucky enough to get this as a, well, skip the line, lucky loan from my library to kind of test it out. I really enjoyed it, and so for my birthday, I bought it for myself. I bought a used copy off of Mercari for like $4, and it's like in brand new condition, pretty much. It's got a little bit of like damage up here, but like whatever. I'm very excited to get into this one. I know this series is probably also going to ruin my life, but I'm gonna be happy about it. Lights Out. Yeah. Surprisingly, I have not yet read this. I know everyone and their mother, and probably their grandmother, though people don't want to know that, has read this. I have not. I have a big feeling that I'm going to love it, because I'm a big dark romance girly. Anything you can think of? Probably, yeah. Except stalker romance. Which, ironically, I say as I hold this up. I'm not gonna get into it right now. I think I'm gonna like it despite my aversion to that, because I don't have a problem with stalker romance. I just think that they're cowards. And I think that this is an exception from what I know about it, but I'm not gonna get into that here. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm really excited to finally get into this one and see if I like it, and see if I share in the hype about it. It's also a much bigger book than I thought it would be, like, size-wise. I thought it was gonna be, like, one of those smaller, like, regular-size romances. I like that it's kind of big, like a fantasy novel. That makes me oddly happy for some reason. These next few books, I am counting as kind of a birthday book haul, because I bought them for myself at my local library's student book sale that they have every Monday. So student book sale is exactly what it sounds like. You can go in there and get a hardback for $2 or a paperback for $1, and all the money goes to student programs at the library or surrounding schools. It's really cool, and they often have a lot of different mixes of retro reads and current reads. So, some of what I got are Christopher Moore's Practical Demon Keeping. Anything with demon in the title, I immediately have to have. The Tower. I saw this at Half Price Books when I was birthday book shopping, and I didn't get it then, which, I mean, everything happens for a reason, right? And so when I saw this at my library, I was like, yeah, I can go ahead and have this and help kids around my county. Yeah, here we go. Memoirs of a Geisha, just another classic that I am anticipating reading. That's pretty self-explanatory. Ernest Hemingway, The Dangerous Summer. The top is red. Why did I just now notice that? This is a nonfiction book, from what I know about Hemingway, about his summer spent in Spain, and it's From what I can get from the synopsis, because I had never heard of this before, and I'm a big Hemingway girly. You can just barely see the edge. You see by Mr. Potato down there? Those are all my Hemingway classics. I'm a big Hemingway girly. Look at Grandpa Hemingway there. I had never heard of this, and I saw it, and I was like, I have to have it, because I think it's sort of like A Movable Feast, where it is like a nonfiction memoir, but it's kind of like a narrative memoir, where there's like a little bit of tongue twisting put in. That was the wrong saying. I almost said euphemism, and then that would have made it worse. Either way, this is nonfiction about some of the time he spent in Spain. Cool. I will say there is one book that's going to be missing from this entire haul, The Dangerous Convenience Store Volume 6, because it is being imported. So that won't be in this haul, and I don't want to wait till July when it says it's going to get here to film this. So just so you know, that is also part of what I am getting. Thunder Song! Okay, I have already read this, and this was a gift, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes, editing Chey here to tell you that I DM'd the person in question just to make sure that I was pronouncing their name correctly. This gift was sent to me by Melita. I got it. Melita. But this was a gift from them. I have already read it. I read this for my 28K in 28 days challenge, I think, but it had been on my TBR for a long time. Just a book of personal essays by the author talking about love, life, sexuality, romance, indigeneity, society, all kinds of stuff, and I really, really loved it. I'm glad to own a physical copy of this. 7 Days in June. This was a gift from Nat, wasn't it? It is. It's a gift from my babe, from Nat, from Nerdy Nat Reads. This has been on my TBR. I almost just whacked myself, both in the face of the book and on my hand. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. I almost just got this from my library, but then this showed up in my mailbox. So thank you, Nat. I love you. I'm very excited to read this. I've heard nothing but good things about this. I'm so excited. What did Nat say about it? What did Nat say? She loved this book, so there's a good chance that I will love it too. Another gift I got was Days at the Morisaki Bookshop from Patty. The book is not Patty's. Thank you, Chey. We understood the first time. This is a gift from Patty from my wish list. The wonderful host of the Patty parties in the Discord. And I've heard nothing but good things about this book from people that I share a lot of reading taste with. And it's a short little guy. And we love short guys. And I have faith that I'm gonna like this one. I'm probably gonna get to it very soon. And I also just love the yellow on the cover. I'm excited to get to this one. Phantasma. This is a gift from Bree, another one of my most lovely friends that I made through the lair. See, Jan, you improved my life so much, even though I make yours so much more worse. I am very excited to get to this. This may be one of the most current reads in these stacks. I told some people in the lair, but I was like, I'm so excited because this haul of books that I have, it's like finally getting within releases within the past like 6 years. Like I'm finally starting to catch up to like popular reads like as they're coming out. I don't think I will ever be at like current reads, like recent what is it? Like as they come out, new releases. Thank you, Chey, speak. I don't think I will ever be caught up with new releases, but I am happy about being this close. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I've seen this in like the past year on Booktube. That's crazy for me. So I'm excited to read this. I loved when Jan read it, and I've also heard, I've heard good things about it. I had to remember. I think I've heard people love the second one more than this one, but they did love this one. So I'm very interested to see what I think. I thought that said The God in the Gumbo on the back. That's a great band name, if anyone wants to take that. Morbidly Yours. This is the book that I have been eyeing for the longest time. I first saw it on the Amazon. I saw the cover and I was like, excuse me, what is that? I love that. As someone who gets reminders from my local funeral home on Facebook that I haven't visited in a while and perhaps it's time to schedule an appointment, you can see why this cover would appeal to me. And no, that's not a joke. No, I did not just make that up. Yes, that really happens to me. No, I don't know why. Actually, I do. It's because I've had a lot of people die. But, so, I'm excited for a romance like this. This takes place in Ireland, right? Is it Ireland or Scotland? Good God, Chey. Galway. I still don't know what that is. My ancestors are like, I'm Scots-Irish, as we say in the South. and native, so I've just offended both of them. I'm just kidding. I know it's Irish. I knew it was Irish the whole time. Don't you look silly. Who is this a gift from? This was a gift, wasn't it? Yes, this was also from Bree. Thank you, Bree. Bree is loading me up with romances here. Bree, are you trying to tell me something? The premise of this is a girl goes over to Ireland to kind of escape her life, right? And she ends up moving in next to a funeral home. And this guy, his family owns it, basically to inherit the business, I think. Like, he has to prove that, like, he's settling down and getting married or whatever, so it's like fake relationship, forced proximity kind of thing. A big thing that I try to do when I make my wish list and things for my birthday is, if I have series that I'm currently reading, I try to prioritize putting those books first. Like, whenever I tell my family or whoever, they're like, what do you want for your birthday? If they're like, yeah, I'll get you books, I try to send them the next books that I need in a series to complete the series, just to make my life easier. One of those series, my mom was very invested in helping me get the rest of those books, because she read the first one and loved it, as I did as well, and I knew she was gonna love it. And she was like, what do you mean it's a trilogy and you don't have the rest of the series? One of my mom's biggest pet peeves is reading a book and not having the rest of the series available to read, which I understand. And so, obviously, she wanted to fix that problem, both for me and herself. And that series is... well, that's not the name of the series. What is it actually called? What is the series actually called? The Indian Lake Trilogy. It begins with My Heart is a Chainsaw, which is up there. So we have The Angel of Indian Lake and Don't Fear the Reaper. I think I just said those out of order, didn't I? Whatever. I got both of these, and I got them in hardcovers to match, baby. And they are also secondhand copies. So, putting money back into the book community. I'm very excited to see how this ends. I think my twin, M, who is not actually my twin, but don't tell anyone that, M, I think the second book is M's favorite, so I will be excited to see if I share my twin's opinion, because the first book is going to be pretty hard to top. If you love horror and you haven't tried Stephen Graham Jones, what are you doing with your life? You need to read Stephen Graham Jones. Stephen Graham Jones has single-handedly ruined my life, because now I'm writing horror novels because of him. So, thank you! Thank you, Stephen Graham Jones. Very cool. I almost said the scum sucking. The Scum Villain Self-Saving System, Volume 1. Just a book that I've heard, a novel that I've heard a lot about. I'm interested in it. Same with the one with the White Husky, is that it? And all those kinds of novels. I feel so left out of them, and I just want to find out on what I'm missing, because I'm sure that I'm going to love them, but this is going to be my first foray into the genre, so I'm excited for this. Also, I forgot to mention that some of my friends also sent me things like tabs and highlighters and stuff like that. I think it was Bree and Patty. I will correct it in the notes in editing if I'm wrong about that, but I'm not gonna go through those on a book haul because they're with my annotating stuff. But thank you for that as well. I love you both. There is something cool in here that's not related to a book haul that my mom got me for my birthday. Yeah, I know you're jealous. It's okay. Nat, I'm gonna need you to hold on to the edge of your seat. I got it. Truth or Beard by Penny Reed, Book 1. Oh, wow. Book 1 of the Winston Brothers series. I called out Nat specifically because this is her fault. She ruined my life. She recommended this book to me because she wanted to ruin my life. So this book follows Jess, I almost said Dwess, Jess and Dwayne Winston. There are 5 Winston brothers. I forget how many there are. Too many. And the spit take that just happened. I am spitting mad. So there are 2 twins, Bo and Dwayne, and they grew up with Jessica in this small town called Green Valley, Tennessee, which is a real place, by the way. Part of why Nat recommended this to me, and the fact that the brothers are mechanics, and the fact they're in Tennessee, and the fact that it deals with biker clubs, and I have extensive history with all of that, because if you did not know, I'm named after a truck. 3rd generation mechanic. Yeehaw! So I have invested interest in this book. This could have went very well or very bad for me. Luckily, it ended up going very well. It was 5 stars for me. Bo and Dwayne Winston are twins in The Brothers, and and they grew up with this girl named Jess, or FMC. She grew up having a crush on Bo, but things happened with Dwayne, and chaos ensues. I'll just say it like that. I love it. I cannot wait to annotate this. I'm so glad to have like the special edition with the picture of the family. Like, it's got like little illustrations throughout. I'm not gonna end up showing you any of them, or am I? You kind of saw one there. Don't make me out to be a lie. There we go. See? Cute little illustrations throughout. It's got like the songs in the back, the dating profiles. I love it. Of course, Dwayne's a Gemini. Duh. The Deal by L. Kennedy. I feel like I said that in the worst possible way. I've already read this. Surprisingly, I really liked it, but I wanted it to have in physical form because I read it as an ebook from my library. I just enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did. I had a good time. Will I continue with the series? I don't know. Maybe. But I had fun with this one. It was a fun time, and I wanted to own it in physical copy. And I like that I was able to get it in the original pressing. Thanks, Chey. Yeah, this is clearly a record. I am so glad that I got this in the original print. That's the word. Also, the seller sent it with this cute little bookmark, which is gorgeous. And it is by Emily Cromwell Designs. Focus, iPhone. The beacon of technology. There we go. There you go. Stop. We're almost through the first box. Playing Hard to Get by Monica Murphy. Another book that I just randomly saw on Amazon when I was browsing ideas for my wish list and to tell people. I'm trying to read more sports romances. I'm trying to be more of a sports romance gal, just to try it, because I like the hockey stuff that I've read so far. But football? I don't think I've read a football romance before. So this will be a curious endeavor for me. But the premise was interesting to me, and I like that he's named Knox, that the male MC is named Knox. I just like that name. So we'll see what I think about it. I'm very curious. I hope I like it. I think these next two were sent by M. They were sent by M. What did M say? Right. M said, Sing Unburied Sing by Jasmine Ward is one of her favorites by this author, so I'm very excited to get into this one. The premise that it's like a road trip novel, part ghost story, part road novel. It goes on a dazzling journey through the Mississippi's past and present with an epic tale of hope and survival. You got me at part ghost story, part road novel. If you have read, oh, it's not here because my mom's reading it. If you've read Never Whistle at Night, that collection of indigenous short horror stories, Stephen Graham Jones writes an amazing introduction where he kind of uses the metaphor of like seeing things when you're out on the road, like for horror, seeing things like pass like ghosts on the road and stuff like that. And I was just like, God, why doesn't this man just write as much as John Grisham or something? Because I would read literally anything that man writes about horror. So that's all to say that like that kind of metaphor and that kind of verbiage, you got me. I'm sold. I'm 100% sold. The barrel will send what it may. This is book 2. Does this have like an actual name for the duology? Danielle Kane series. Danielle Kane series by Margaret Killjoy. This is the second book. The Lamb Will Slaughter the Lion is the first book. I really enjoyed it. They're both really, really short. They're kind of like punk, anarchist, dystopian, science, fantasy novellas. I'm not sure about the length, and I'm a writer. But they're fun. I had such a good time with the first one, and the first one, honestly, has one of the best covers of all time that I've ever seen. Do I have it here, or is it still with my mother? I think it's still with my mother. But usually whenever I finish reading, I then give the books to my mom to read. But this is the second book that follows the same character, and I'm excited to see what shenanigans they get up to this time, because last time it was taking down like a possessed eldritch god deer, which was awesome. So yeah, now a nascent demon hunting crew on the lam, Danielle and her friends arrive in a small town that contains a secret occult library run by anarchists and residents who claim to have come back from the dead. Johannes Cabal might have a few things to say about that. Thank you, M. I love you, twin. I can't wait to see what I think and share my thoughts with you, twin, and harass you even more, twin. Wow, I sound like a robot. Blue Exorcist. Wow, these are out of order. Volume 7 is somewhere. Blue Exorcist volumes 6, 8, 9, and 10. Volume 7 is somewhere around here. But I got volumes 6 through 10 because this is a series that I've been reading for a while, but I did not yet own these, so now I can actually physically continue reading them. One of the first manga series that I ever watched or began. Well, was it one of the first anime? One of the first manga series I ever actually began reading in earnest. And I'm sad that I never finished it, so now I'm going to correct that mistake. And I don't know, it's still ongoing, isn't it? But I'm going to try and be caught up. As long as I keep enjoying them, I will keep getting the volumes. But, you see that up there? That's my manga shelf, and it's kind of already full, so... Oh well! Y'all, I'm so excited for this one. The Metalhead Next Door. This one is a gift from my fam, from Liv, from the Lair. Another friend made from the Lair. See, I told you Jance is making my life better, and I do the exact opposite for her. Liv is my Appalachian buddy in the Lair, and such a thoughtful, such a kind human being that I love being able to relate to and chat with about all the craziness that does go down in Appalachia. I think it was Bree that first turned me on to this book. I think it was, though. Someone brought my attention. Someone in the Lair first brought this to my attention. Was it Bree or was it Ken's? It was someone. And I was like, wow, this book was made for me. I think Bree was like, Chey, I thought of you with this book. Or something. Which I can understand because me, lay metalhead, if you did not know. Just apartments, strangers to lovers, I think. Yeah, neighbors to lovers. So, I'm interested. I love the short little one-off volumes of love stories like these. I've been loving them more and more. I've been finding more and more of them, and I'm just having a great time, like Bergamot and Sunny Day. I don't own that physically yet, but that's something like that like I enjoyed, or The Cat's Proposal, I think, something like that. Just little one-off volumes. I'm finding I'm having a really fun time with it, rather than having to buy 25 volumes of a series. Patty did send me the tabs because I also put her thank you notes in The Comfort of Crows by Margaret Rankle. Thank you, Patty. This is also a gift from Patty. This is a book that has always caught my eye whenever I go into a bookstore. I have picked it up and put it down in so many Barnes & Nobles and Books A Millions and half-price books that I cannot count. Anything that has crows in the title, like demons, immediately captures my attention. That tells you everything you need to know about Chey. But, I mean, well... This is a narrative book that just follows the author's plants and creatures in her backyard over the course of a year, and I'm a big nature girly. I love nature. I am a lizard. If I don't go out in the sun at least once a day, I will shrivel and perish. Also, the cover of this is so smooth. I cannot wait to read this for when I actually get a hankering for a nonfiction again, or I'm starting to miss sunny days. I think I'm probably going to pick this up whenever the seasonal depression is going to start to kick in, probably around fall. This will probably be a perfect comfort book for that. I'm very, very excited for this one. Look how beautiful. What beautiful artwork per each chapter. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Actually, this might be fun since it goes over the course of a year. It might be fun to, like, read it along with, like, because it begins on winter week 1. It was a December of Crows. It might be fun to actually read it along with the seasons. I might do that. We'll see if I have the patience for that. Die Dark, Volume 8. You want to talk about excitement. Okay, so Die Dark up there. Die Dark is another series by one of my favorite manga authors, Kyuhei Shida, who wrote Dorohedoro, which is one of my favorite manga series of all time, next to Trigun. This is their newest work, and I have been eating it up as fast as I can get my hands on them. I love this series so much. I love the art style, I love the story, I love the humor. If you want a grittier, darker manga that has heart but an interesting universe and just chaos and shenanigans, read this series. Read it, read it, read it. Look at this art style. I'm flipping through that way you don't get, like, any spoilers. But, like, I'm also gonna have to read this before I edit this video to make sure that there's no spoilers in it, but I don't think there was. I flipped through pretty fast. And look at what they called the main cast at the beginning. Yeah, I don't think, it's been a long time since I have loved every single individual character so much in a manga series. Damaru, that is not how you pronounce his name, I'm sure. I want to make art of these characters so much myself. I'm gonna stop. I cannot wait to read it. I'm probably gonna read it tonight now that I can get it out of the box. Full Metal Alchemist, Volume 3. This is the Full Metal editions. I am just slowly collecting all these. I've read Full Metal Alchemist, one of my childhood manga and animes, so now I'm just collecting the hardcover editions. And this is my boy. This is my man's. One of my original crushes. I think set the bar for men for me, honestly. So, that explains a lot. Dark-haired grumps who are actually kind of himbo golden retrievers. Yeah, that explains a lot. Dark-haired himbos with RBF that are actually kind of golden retrievers, but can be tough when they need to be. I just thought of my current crush, and that makes it even funnier. Dangerous Convenience Store, Volume 5. Another series that I read it completely online, like coming out and stuff like that. And now I just want to own the physical copies of it. That way I can have it more accessibly to read anytime that I want it. So I'm very excited about this. I love this. I love this. I can't wait to read it physically again and reread it and have such a lovely time. Because I love this couple, honestly. Probably one of my favorite couples. Don't look down there at the Jinx Shrine. Probably one of my favorite BL couples. I love them. Y'all, we are basically through the first box. I do have this package that I have yet to open. I don't know that I should open it on camera because I don't know if it's 18 plus, because The Dangerous Convenience Store is an 18 plus manga. It is an adult BL. This is The Dangerous Convenience Store Season 2 special package set. Should I open it on camera? Should I save it for last in case no one cares? Oh, it has plastic on it. It's got things inside. It's got goodies inside. I hear it. I'm gonna save it to open later. Can I open it now? Can my nails open it? Okay, well, I'm doing it. There's no going back now. So, we're just gonna see the repercussions of my actions. Oh, it's a satisfying noise. It comes with a standee! It comes with a standee of my boy! Okay, love that. Love that. And it comes with another standee, or is that just like a card? Oh, it's several cards of the lads. Oh, that's so cute. Okay. And we got some stickers. Adorable. Love. We got volume 3, not in English, but that's fine because I do have volume 3 in English. And then volume 4. This, funnily enough, I got volume 4. It's in Italian. But I have volume 4! Wow, cool. I love this. Okay, what's in the little envelope? It's his business card. It's one of the main characters' business card. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Wait, is it both their business card? There's 2 in here. Or is it just extra thick? Is it like me and she extra thick? For real, for real. That's just an extra thick business card. Crazy. Wow. Okay, love. This was great. I love this. Okay, he's gonna go on my shelf soon, but I'm gonna package this away. Cool. What a neat little package. Here we go to the second box. Okay, I think I've gotten through most of the gifts, at least most of them. There's gonna be some sprinkled throughout, at least like from, and I just saw something that made me realize I kind of lied to you earlier, but we'll go over that. Ladies, pay attention. Oh, it's getting goofy, and that means my blood sugar's getting low, and I gotta go have dinner, supper, see what I mean? A lot of these I think we're about to get into. I think we're about out of the gifts from, sorry, I had an event pop up from Nashville Hardcore Discord. A lot of these, I think, were ones that I got from my shopping trip to Half Price Books, my birthday shopping trip. So each year for my birthday, my mom and I just kind of set aside, like, my parents and I, not just my mom, but my mom's the one that actually goes with me, but my parents and I set aside, like, a fund to then actually go and do stuff with on my birthday. That is where a lot of these came from actually going and shopping on that day, which is kind of fun because it's like you go to stores like Half Price Books, thrift stores. We don't really go to Barnes & Noble and Books A Million because you can't really get a bang for your buck. So it's kind of fun just hunting and seeing what we can find. So that's where a lot of these came from, but there are some gifts mixed in from like actually getting on my birthday and then like from friends and stuff. Some of the ones that I got from Half Price Books, which made me realize I kind of lied to you earlier. The Mistake. Remember how I said I wasn't sure if I was going to continue the series or not? The Off-Campus series by L. Kennedy? This is book 2. So I guess I will be continuing it. Because I think that I couldn't resist getting this cover. Because it was an original cover at Half Price Books. And I was like, where am I ever going to find this cover again? So we're going to see if I like this one. That's all I have to say about that. Ernest Hemingway, the Nick Adams stories. You're going to tell me that I was supposed to walk into Half Price Books, see this cover, and then just go on about my day? Just go on about my day and just ignore it? Absolutely not. Because, not just because of the beautiful cover and because it's Hemingway's stories, this contains, the first thing I looked for when I opened this was, does it contain, was it Into the Woods? It's not Into the Woods. Why am I thinking Into the Woods? The Last Good Country. The theater kid brain came out in me. The Last Good Country is a manuscript that Hemingway started and never finished, and it rips my heart out of my chest because it's honestly one of my favorite things I've ever read. He compares the forest to a church in terms of like the quiet and the weird feeling that people who have spent a lot of time in the forest get whenever it gets too quiet. There's no one who writes nature like Hemingway. He just gets it. So I was like, yeah, I gotta have this. Another one from Half Price Books. You can see the tags are on here, so I don't care. Spoiler alert. Just a romance that seems pretty interesting to me. Something about a star on a television series, and she's like a big fan, writes fan fiction or something like that, is very active on fan forums. And then I think like there's forced proximity or like fake dating or something like that. It involves fandoms and romance and boundaries, and I'm always interested in that. Here's a gift. Here's a gift from another one of my favorite people who, say it with me, I met in the lair, dead, in Long Beach, California. This is a gift from Tiffany. Tiffany, I love you so much. Tiff, you make me just want to move to Canada. I hope you know that. I put this on my radar a very long time ago on Goodreads, and it is one of the lowest rated books on my Goodreads TBR. And the premise makes me very interested, because it just seems like a weird book that I would like, but also the low rating does, because I typically tend to like books that aren't rated very highly on Goodreads. What does this say about me? I do not know. But I guess Tiffany's read it, because she said, I hope you love this weird book. So Tiffany, if Tiffany liked it, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to like it. Either way, I think that I am anyway, but just the premise of it, and it's a short little read, and also this cover that I could signal to from outer space. I love it. I love weird little books. And I love Tiffany. I'm gonna leave this book for last, just to make her mad. She's like, who's that? Talk about another weird little book that I'm excited for. A History of Fear by Luc Dumas. This is a book that I heard about from Jan. I don't know why I'm beating you with it. Sorry, I'm hungry. This is about a devil. The devil is in Scotland. That's what I'm not there, so I don't know what they're talking about. I started reading this, I got it on loan from my library, I really liked it, and that's kind of what I use my library loans for, to read it and test it out, and then I'm like, well, if I like it well enough, and hopefully I finish it, then I will get it, then I will spend my money getting it. But I got this for my birthday, and I'm so excited. It couldn't have come at a more perfect time, because also, all of a sudden, my library lost, like, a bunch of their titles, and so I can't get A History of Fear back, like, it's gone from my library. So that sucks, but at least I have it in physical form now, and I'm excited to continue on with it, because I think that I'm going to love it. Game Changer! Game Changer by Piper Lawson. I got this as an ebook from a Stuff Your Kindle laptop whatever romance event last year. Listen, it's not the best romance I ever read, but it was fun. I had a good time. There were certain elements in it that I read that I have not seen represented in romance at large, I feel, such as like communication or certain dialogue tropes, or just certain things even said in dialogue, certain ways that characters explored certain situations, especially regarding fame and boundaries and personal trauma. I really liked it. I thought it was a fun time. The spice, almost surprisingly non-existent. At least, like, heavy spice. And that was kind of refreshing, in a way. There is more to the series, so I'm very curious to see how it continues. But I wanted a physical copy, and I was debating for a very long time, because there's some various versions of copies. Like, there's another, I think this is the Hello Lovely edition, I think. But this one was the best one that I saw. And I kept watching it on Pango, like, please don't sell, please don't sell, please don't sell. And then for my birthday, my mom was like, do you want it? And I was like, yes. So now I have it. And I can't wait to go back through it and annotate it and love it. Oh, here it is. Blue Exorcist Volume 7. I'm just kidding. Why would I do that to a brand new book? What's wrong with you? Jan's gonna be mildly happy about this one. Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry. I have also already read this one. I loved it, and I wanted a physical copy of it. That way I can annotate to my heart's desire. Will I continue on with the series? I don't know. And that's not a lie, because I don't have any of the other books with me. I'm not against it, but, like, I am also happy where this one left off. I think I was against reading the second one because it heavily involves a child, and I'm not a child person. I'm like... So, I'm happy with this one and how it ended. I love the main characters. I love how strong the female main character is in this one. I saw the twist coming from miles away, like from page 30, but I still loved it. I usually figure out everything anyway because I'm just that much of a genius, but I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was well written. I liked the spice. I liked the couples. I liked the characters. It was a good time, so I'm glad I own it. Yeah, here's the Italian Dangerous Convenience Store, Volume 4. It's a good thing I moderately know Italian. You know, the first clue should have been that it came from Greece. Whatever. Kurt Vonnegut's Bluebeard. Another book that I have read and loved. I have read all of Kurt Vonnegut's main bibliography, and now I'm just trying to actually collect them. That way I can go through and physically annotate and reread them. This is one of my favorite. This is probably my favorite Vonnegut work, besides Breakfast of Champions, because Breakfast of Champions is just insane. But in terms of probably sticking with me, probably this is it. Besides just knowing that Breakfast of Champions is insane. Please, if you're trying to read Vonnegut, do not go in reading Breakfast of Champions as your first book. Don't do it. I mean, unless you just like jumping off the deep end. Montmorency and the Assassins. I believe this is book 3 in the Montmorency series. This is a series that I read in middle school. Honestly, inspired me a lot in terms of taste and what I like in terms of mystery and thriller and action. A series that I still often think about. A series that I love so much that when I went to high school, one of my middle school English teachers literally gave me a copy of the first book from her classroom library. So I'm finally collecting these in the hardback proper editions, and I'm probably going to do a reread video of them going through them and see if they still hold up. I sure hope so. The premise for the first book, though, there's this guy who's basically a thief, like a professional thief, and he is running across a glass roof in Victorian London and falls through and nearly dies because he's cut up with all the glass roof and stuff like that. But there's a doctor who saves his life by performing on him in front of like the Surgeon Society or whatever. He uses him as not a test subject, but basically as like a miracle of modern medicine, being like, this is how I helped him and like saved his life, you know, and stuff like that. And while he's there, he also keeps seeing presentations for the new sewer systems in London. And so he memorizes all those sewer systems, and while he's being doctored on, while he is still living as kind of this, not experiment, but this sort of medical subject, he uses his knowledge of the sewer systems that he's seeing being developed, and he uses that to go through the city and rob it at night and make money and buy his way to luxury. It's pretty awesome. Loving the Time of Serial Killers. This is the book that just hooked me from the very first time I ever heard the title. And I think Jan really enjoyed it. I know M didn't. I think M gave this 2 stars because I just looked at their rating recently. But I think Jan really liked this. I could also be wrong about that. But I don't know a thing about the premise. I just know the title and I love it. So we'll see. Fan service. What did I say about loving stories about fandoms and boundaries and wildness? Apparently this is like a supernatural romance, which is pretty cool. I thought it was just... yeah, paranormal rom-com. The only place is Small Town. Alex Lawson fits in as the online fan forum. Again, we have fandoms. I think like she somehow gets involved with like the TV shoot or the star or something, getting the star of the series back on his feet or something like that. I'm into it. It's funny. It looks funny. It looks like a good time. It looks like a goofy good time. Whenever I unwrap this, and my mom was like, oh yeah, that's like a gift that someone sent from your wish list, and she handed me the thank you note or whatever, I was like, I don't have to look at the thank you note. I know who this is from. It's from Alex. Another friend that I made through the lair. Alex, I love you. Thank you for this. I know it's not a book, but it's in the box with the books. Alex and I are big Inuyasha fans. We're both Sessy stans. Wow, that's a tongue twister. We're both Inuyasha stands, and we geek out a lot of Appalachian stuff too. Alex is just a wonderful human being that I admire so much because they work in a school, especially in a school library, which is such an important job, and they are a light unto my life. So thank you, Alex. She's gonna go up there where she belongs with the other boys. And look, if I put her right here, she's next to Inyu on my shelf right there. Aren't they cute? Where do I even go from here? Nicked by M.T. Anderson. I'm into grave robbing. I probably shouldn't have said it like that because that's going to get clipped somewhere. I have a weird fascination with grave goods and grave robbing. On 2 separate occasions, for 2 separate seminars at Georgetown, where we could write our final project about anything, I chose to do various grave related papers. For my Saints of Society class, I did the relics of the saints, so grave goods, and then for Vikings, I did like grave goods and grave sites and stuff like that. And I'm finding that I love fantasy, horror, science fiction kind of set in pox eras or plague eras, historical fiction. I like historical fiction when it's like horror-esque type. This has all the elements that seems like I would like it, so. And it's also Hamlet-esque, which I love Hamlet, so. The Familiar. Leigh Bardugo is one of my faves, one of my babe authors, and I've only heard good things about this. I know Jan absolutely loved it. I figured that I would when I read the premise of it. It's been way too long. I need to read it because I think this is going to be a 5-star for me. It's going to be a 5-star anticipated read. I hope that I'm not hyping it up too much. Speaking of beloved authors, Emily Henry, funny story. I told y'all I'm finally getting caught up on current reads, on new releases. This is about as new as I get. I love Emily Henry, one of my favorite all-time romance authors. Book Lovers is over there. Beach Read is right there on my bookshelf. Controversial opinion, love Beach Read more than Book Lovers. I think this is the next one of her works that I will actually enjoy. The other ones, people we meet on vacation and stuff like that, I do want to read those, but I'm not as hype about them as I am this one. I'm very, very interested in this one, so glad to own it. Stay with me. Excited to get to it. Alright, I'm not going to say too much about this one. I'm just going to show it to you, and I hope that you'll understand. Again, I ask you, how was I supposed to walk in half-price books, see this, and not walk out with it? Especially because For Whom the Bell Tolls is probably my favorite Hemingway work so far that I've read. I had to. This is one of the most gorgeous editions of a book that I have ever seen in my life. I love her so much. Speaking of favorite authors that I love so much, we have Two by Mark Lawrence, which is my favorite author of all time, besides Kurt Vonnegut and, I almost said Mark Hemingway and Ernest Hemingway. We have The Book That Broke the World and The Book That Held Her Heart. I believe 2 and 3, right? Right? Mark, help me! Mark! He's gonna be like, I'm gonna disown you, actually. Yeah, I was right! I was right! Gosh, I'm good. Mark Lawrence just has a chokehold on me, literary-wise. You see that up there? If you haven't seen my bookshelf tour and stuff, that's my George shrine. The Broken Empire series is my favorite series, not counting manga and stuff like that, of all time. Highly influenced me in what I love to read in fantasy, what I write in fantasy and stuff like that. I just love it. I'm doing a vlog rereading the series right now. Everything that Mark Lawrence writes, I love. I eat it up like, I love it. Have I finished all the series? Don't come in here asking questions like that. But now, I have finished collecting this trilogy, his newest trilogy, and I'm not gonna say it. You know what I am for these. You know what I am for these. I think that these are series that I am absolutely going to devour once I actually get started into them. I think the reason that I'm so slow in reading the other books is because I only own them in mass market paperbacks. Georg's, I own way too many copies of, which I can never say that. I own the mass market paperbacks, I own the hardbacks, and Road Brothers is like the side novels and stuff like that. And I own the Anniversary bind-up, which is numbered and autographed because I'm obnoxious. But the other ones, I just own, like, all those. You see those right there? Those are all Mark Lawrence. Those are all Mark Lawrence. And they're all mass market paperbacks. But I'm finding I don't like mass market paperbacks because they get annoying to read. So I think I'm actually going to fly through these once I pick them up because they're not mass market paperbacks. I do only have the paperback of the first one, though, which is like... But knowing me, I'll probably get another copy. Where is it? Okay, hold on. I gotta get a special tool that will help us. This is actually perfect because, speaking of mass market paperbacks, Black Sun Rising by C.S. Friedman. So this is the copy that I own. Mass market paperback. I got it from some flea market thrift sale a long time ago. I finally started reading it recently and I'm absolutely devouring it. But it's one of those books that when you devour it, you also don't want it to end, so you start reading it incredibly slowly and you infuriate yourself about it. I knew 200 pages in that I love this book, right? And also, the cover is one of my favorite covers of all time. Can we please go back to actually making art for book covers? So what I had to do, of course, was add to my birthday wish list to actually get hardback copies of the entire series, the entire trilogy. So here we go. Black Sun Rising. Look at that. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. This is the first book, which I have not finished. In the hardback, this is pretty much where I am. I've read a little bit more from that, but I haven't swapped over yet because I'm making sure that it's going to be 5 stars before I start annotating in everything because I'm paranoid. That's book 1. Book 2 is When True Night Falls. Gorgeous. Stunning. The main character of these books, Damien Bryce, Reverend Damien Bryce, also has me in a chokehold as a man. Book 3, Crown of Shadows. Look at that king. Look at that icon. Icon. Brother, I'm so excited for these. Also, female fantasy author from the 90s, if that's up your alley. Okay, I lied. I won't save her for last. Of this entire haul, I have one more gifted book left to show you. I almost tongue-tied myself right there, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I gave a second there for Jan if she needed to squeal or scream or whatever she needed to do, because this is a gift from the lovely Jan Agaton herself, my queen, my icon, my love, one of my loves of my life. The note is falling out! Ah! You're the light of my life. Shut up, Jan! No, but seriously, Jan and all of these lovely folks that have sent me gifts have become some of my very closest friends over the past year or so that I've been in the lair. God, have I been in the lair like 2 years? Ew, I'm so old. But they have become some of my closest friends in the world, and I absolutely love every single one of them. Jan has been dying for me to read this book, and Jan, I promise I will get to it sooner rather than later, because you did the smart thing and sending this to me for my birthday before your birthday, so I'm gonna feel guilt-tripped into reading it even sooner. Not really guilt-tripped, but I promise that I am gonna read it extremely soon, because I've had my eye on V.E. Schwab for a long time. My mom has read her Conjuring of Magic series, and she really liked it, but I've been so on the fence. With authors like V.E. Schwab, I'm always like, but what if I don't? Because so many people love it, and I want to be a part of the love and, like, the fandom, and sharing the joy with people, and I'm scared of, like, but what if I don't? Not that I would be a hater, but I'm just like, I don't want to be disappointed, you know? So now I have the incentive. Now I actually have the incentive. Sorry, I don't know if you could hear that cricket, that frog. Now I actually have the incentive. I have the book in my hand. Beautiful buttery cover. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, everyone that sent me gifts. You absolutely did not have to do that, as you know. But, wow, I am constantly humbled and surprised and feel so loved and cared for. Okay, back to the other loser. I'm just kidding. I really shouldn't say that, considering who this next author is. Get this stupid sticker off of here. He doesn't deserve to have a sticker on there, because I just need to see the beautiful cover itself. The Buffalo Hunter. Stephen Graham Jones. You should have known this one was coming, considering how much I was talking this up earlier. I started reading this as a loan from my library, because I knew I was gonna love it anyway, but I got it as a skip the line loan. Did not get to finish it, but I loved it, and I love everything else Stephen Graham Jones has ever done. So when I saw it at Half Price Books, I was like, happy birthday to me, because it was the last copy. So happy birthday to me, I get to read. Hopefully another 5-star, because, oh, SGJ, you are on a roll, so, please keep it going. Honestly, he might be competing with Mark Lawrence. Don't worry, we're in the home stretch. Last three, brother. Love on the Brain. A book that I've been wanting to read for a while. I enjoy Ali Hazelwood's other work. I know she can be very divisive, but I like it. I don't really think too hard about it. Whenever I want to brain off, just enjoy a romance, I tend to read Ali Hazelwood. I wanted to read this one for a while, so when opportunity was available to put on a wish list, I put it on there, I got it, and I'm excited to check this one out. And for the last two, we have Blame, the Master Editions, Volume 1 and Volume 2. This looks like 5 in the mirrored version of my camera, and I was like, that's not right. Volumes 1 and Volume 2. Blame is a series that I randomly discovered online, and I was like, that main character looks cool as hell. And then I watched the Netflix movie about it, and I was like, if the Netflix movie is this fun, the manga is probably even better. And so I've read a little bit of it online and stuff like that, but I wanted to actually own it, that way I could read it myself. I'm super excited for this. I need to stop saying that, but I am going to stop saying it, because now we're at the end of the video. Wow. I will count up how much, and I actually like that the other side of this book actually has, like, the other side. ADHD. I am totally filming this with the rest of the haul, not the day after, because I happened to set a book down yesterday and forget it was there until after I was done filming. But I'm gonna tell you about it again, because I did tell you about it the first time. The Vine That Ate the South, one of my favorite books of the 28K, I think I did it in 28K, challenge. I absolutely love this book, Gothic Southern Chaos. I loved it. It was good, so I'm glad that I have it in a physical copy. Bonk, bonk. I don't know how I'm gonna... Why are you still recording? I will put in the number in editing here of how many books I actually ended up having in this haul, because I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm not gonna count right now. I'm gonna take this thumbnail tomorrow because I'm hungry and I'm tired, and the rest of these books are just gonna sit in my floor. Wow, you can see my ring light, really professional. I don't care. If you watched my video prior to this, you know that I just hit reading 80% of my own TBR, and now I have thrown that all away. But that was the goal, right? I hit it for this purpose. And, well, that's shot to hell now, isn't it? But that was the goal. Like, I just wanted to do it once, and it'll get there again. But I wanted to have that room, that way I could bring in these fresh blood of books. Red flesh of books and start it all over again, because I love a challenge. There's nothing I love more than, like, getting a farm set up in Minecraft, like, going through the struggle until I get my farm set up, and then I get bored and delete the world and start again because I need the challenge, and that's on ADHD. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone who sent me gifts. I love you. Extra special kiss, and, nighty nights for you. I hope you don't hit any traffic on your way to and from work for the rest of your life. That's a little unrealistic, but I can wish it for you anyway. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there's any of these that you're most excited for me to read. Let me know what of these books that you saw that you love, or if there's any that you're now interested in for yourself. And if you made it this far in the video, comment the hamster emoji. There's a hamster emoji, right? I'm looking at Hamtaro on my bed over there. Comment a hamster emoji if you made it this far. I have plenty of videos coming out soon, a lot of vlogs that I'm excited about, both themed and not. Subscribe and stick around if you want to see those, if you want to see more chaos. Hauls will not be that often, because I don't often get a lot of books. But around, like, Christmas and birthdays and stuff like that, I'll probably do an occasional haul. But mainly I'm just going to be doing themed, fun reading vlogs and stuff like that. So subscribe, stick around, have fun with that. But now I'm gonna go. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you ain't heard from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace. You rock. Bye!